Hi everybody, welcome back. I'm Miss Laura. Today we're reading fairy tales from one of my favorite books, the Tasha Tudor Book of Fairy Tales. This was my book when I was a child. We're going to read today Rapunzel. In a village near a forest in Germany, there once lived a woodcarver and his wife. They had long wished for a child, and finally they knew that their wish would come true. Now the wife liked to sit and look from her upstairs window into the garden next door. It belonged to a witch, and all sorts of wonderful flowers and vegetables grew there. One day the wife noticed a patch of salad greens. These salad greens are called Rapunzel in Germany. They looked so crisp and delicious that the woman's mouth watered for them. The more she gazed on the shining green leaves, the more her longing for them increased until she grew sick and weak, and her husband feared she would die if she could not have some of the witch's Rapunzel. So one evening, he climbed over the garden wall to get some for her. But no sooner had he begun to gather the Rapunzel than the old witch appeared before him. "What are you doing here in my garden, thief?" she demanded, shaking her stick at him. "Have pity, good witch. My wife is ill with longing for your beautiful Rapunzel, and if she does not eat some, she will die." "So," answered the witch, "in that case, you may take as much as you like, but for this favor, I demand a promise in return. You must give me your child when she is born. I will not harm her, but have her I will." The terrified husband made the dreadful promise and took the Rapunzel to his wife. She lay weak and deathly pale, but as soon as she had eaten a salad of the Rapunzel greens, she became rosy and well again. A few months later, a little girl was born, and within the hour the witch appeared, lifted the infant from its cradle, and carried it away, in spite of the parents' pleading. She named the child Rapunzel, for the plant that had delivered the child into her hands. Every year Rapunzel grew more and more beautiful. Her hair grew so long that it hung heavy in a braid to the floor, and every year it grew longer. She sang so sweetly that the birds stopped singing to listen. When Rapunzel was 12, the witch took her deep into the forest to a high tower that had neither door nor staircase, but only a window up under the roof. When the witch wanted to visit Rapunzel, she would stand beneath the window and call, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your golden hair." Then Rapunzel would fasten her hair around a hook by the window and let down the long braid, and the witch would climb up. Rapunzel spent 3 lonely years in the tower. The forest birds were her only friends. One summer's day, a prince was riding through the forest and heard Rapunzel singing. Never had he heard such an enchanting voice. He rode close to the tower from whence the singing seemed to come, but he could find no entrance, so he decided to hide and wait to see what happened. And soon came the witch. She went up to the tower and called, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your golden hair." Rapunzel let her hair down from the window, and the witch climbed up. "If that is the only way to reach the lovely singer," thought the prince, "I will try it myself." So when the witch had gone away, the prince called, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your golden hair." In a moment, the long golden braid came tumbling down, and the prince climbed up. Rapunzel was startled to see a stranger, but the prince spoke gently to her. "I have heard your sweet singing, and now that I have seen how beautiful you are, I cannot live without you. Come with me. I will take you to my kingdom and make you my wife." Rapunzel clasped her hand in his, but her eyes filled with tears. "Alas," she said, "there is no way out of this tower for me unless you will return and bring a skein of silk each time. Then I can weave a ladder, and we can escape. But be very sure to come only in the evening, for the witch visits me in the daytime." The prince promised that he would return every evening until the ladder was finished, and then he rode away. And here's the picture of the tower and Rapunzel and the prince. Okay. So the witch came each day, and each evening the prince came, bringing a skein of silk. The witch knew nothing about it until one day, when the ladder was almost finished, Rapunzel said dreamily to her, "Why is it you are so much heavier to draw up than the young prince?" "Wicked child," shrieked the witch, "you have deceived me. I will put you where your prince will never find you." She seized Rapunzel's hair, and taking a pair of scissors from her pocket, she cut off the thick braid, and then she banished Rapunzel to a wilderness far beyond the forest. That evening the witch fastened Rapunzel's golden braid to the hook by the window, and when she heard the prince call, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your golden hair," she dropped the long braid out the window. The prince climbed up, but there instead of his beautiful Rapunzel stood the ugly witch. "So," she shrieked, "you have come for your little dove. Well, the bird has flown, and you will never see her again." The prince was so distracted that he leaped out of the high window. The thorn trees caught him and saved his life, but the sharp thorns scratched his eyes, and he could no longer see. The poor prince wandered for 2 years, until one day he came to the place where Rapunzel was. She instantly recognized her prince, even though he was blind and in rags. Her tears of pity fell upon his blinded eyes, and his sight was restored. Then the prince took her to his kingdom, and they lived happily ever after. And that is the end of the story. Thank you for listening. That's Tasha Tudor. Bye.